Hi there, this is Paige with Stamp Girl here on YouTube, and welcome to my channel. In this video I'm sharing with you my project for the collaboration I'm doing with Bev, who is new Crafter Bev here on YouTube, and I'm calling it Die Signing with Bev. So each month we're pulling out some dies from our stash and making some projects to share with each other and with all of you who stop in. I don't know about the rest of you, but daylight savings time this year has really been kicking my behind, and I have totally lost my mojo to create anything. The videos of mine that you've seen up until now have all been projects that I had worked on ahead of time and had gotten done in December, January, February for March. And then it was the end of February. I had made it through the middle of March, but when daylight savings time started, I was just like, I just couldn't create. So this is the first thing I've done since March 1st, and it isn't anything exciting by any means, but it's all I could get out. So what I did is I pulled out these dies from Spellbinders, and they are like photo corners or decorative corner dies, and you can use just the centerpiece that will die cut into the paper, but they also have an outline die that will cut the corner out. And so I just taped them together. The sets came 2 of each, so you could die cut the same corner, 2 of the same corners at the same time. And there were 3 different designs. I thought for sure there were 4, and if there are, then I've got a set that is totally lost on my messy desk. But anyway, I used these 3, and I just pulled out some paper from my stash. I don't save a lot of scraps, but I do save all of the scraps from specialty paper. And by specialty paper, I mean like glitter paper, metallic paper, foiled paper, you know, anything really fancy and special. So I just pulled out a bunch of my scraps of my gold metallic papers, and I just used my little Sidekick die cutting machine so I could sit right at my craft table and crank them out. And I just made 9 sets of 4 corners, so I've got 3 sets of each style, and I'll just keep them in a box, and when I need to use a corner for a decorative piece on a card or a project, I'll just pull from the box. So that's this was actually the second project that I did, and I'm calling it a project, and all it was sitting and doing some die cutting. But yeah, I just haven't felt creative at all to come up with anything new or even to case something. So the next thing I did is I cut out a bunch of little leaf clusters, and I used this die right here. I don't know who made this. Is it Memory Box that does purple dies? Or what's the related one to Memory Box? Anyway, I have this long strip, and it cuts out 5 individual clusters of leaves, 2 different styles. So one style is a little bit shorter or different than the other, but I just took an 8.5 by 11 sheet of Garden Green cardstock from Stampin' Up, and I just cut out these, now they're stuck. I just cut out a strip of leaves at a time all the way across the paper, and then what gaps of scraps were left, I just used a portion of the die and cut as many as I could. So some of my leaf clusters aren't full size. Like this one is missing a stem. Some of them are missing a leaf or 2 or have a partial leaf on it, but I figured if I'm tucking them behind flowers, like this one, the sides of these leaves didn't cut out, but I figured if I'm tucking them behind flowers or something, I can cover those parts up and just have a little piece of it showing. So I didn't even count how many there are, but I just made all these little leafy clusters to have on hand when I need them for a little floral arrangement on a card or a project. So I'm sorry, not a very exciting or interesting project this time, but I think in the long run this will be useful for me. I'll leave a link down below to Bev's channel so you can check out her project for the month of March. I'd like to thank all of you for joining me, and now I'm off to create. Well, let's hope I'm off to create.